Hey guys, this is Carl, Brigade Captain for Open Savannah. Just wanted to do this quick screencast for those of you who aren't familiar with using GitHub to make contributions to documents and to write documentation, as well as to edit code. So I wanted to do this brief overview. We're here actually in the Open Savannah GitHub organization. It's just github.com/Open Savannah, and we're in the task basket repository. And a repository is basically just like a bucket of various code, text, what have you. So supposing we wanted to make a change to this document or contribute to it in some way. The idea is to have everyone contributing who wants to, and so at any time feel more than welcome to. The best way probably to do it would be to select, and if you're unfamiliar to GitHub, assuming you've made an account, you'll see a fork option up here in the top right of the page. Now, if you just select fork, it'll ask where should you fork it. You would fork it to your personal GitHub repository. So I'm going to fork this to my personal account, and it'll do its little forking magic here. And what it's basically doing is it's taking everything from that GitHub repository, that task basket, and it's putting it onto my personal GitHub so that I can edit it. Because unless you're an admin for the GitHub organization, which I'm happy to make you one if you want to send an email to me, you can't make direct changes to files on the Open Savannah GitHub without doing it this method. And this method is called a pull request. You'll notice up here is pull request. We'll get to that in just a second. So now we have our forked task basket that we just took from Open Savannah task basket. It's basically a copy. So we're going to edit the text here in this document. Just as an example, oops, that's not the right button to press. So the document that you see here is being completely basically displayed using this readme.md file, and md stands for markdown. So that's the file that we're gonna want to edit in order to change the text that we see on the first GitHub landing page. So I'm going to press edit, and then I'm going to, let's say I'm just writing this here. This is a sample or an example, demo example for screencast on using GitHub to contribute to documentation. I'm going to put this as demo edition. Just to show you guys how this process works, I've added this line here, and then I can commit the changes, and I'm going to describe it as added line for demonstration screencast. I'm going to leave this blank. It's optional. It's an optional description. And then it's going to ask you if you want to commit directly to the master branch or create a new branch for this commit. And what branches basically are different versions. So if, say, you weren't quite sure if you wanted to make this change permanent, you'd create a new branch. So you'd have both branches there. We're going to commit this directly to the branch because I'm not that worried about it. So now if you look at Carl V. Lewis task basket, or excuse me, your username / task basket, you'll see this is a demo edition line. You'll see the line the text we just entered. Now, how do we get that text back into the Open Savannah original base repository? Good question. You see it says fork from Open Savannah task basket. Well, you click on Open Savannah task basket, then you press pull requests, and then you press new pull request. And pull request is basically you asking the owner of the source repository if the changes that have been made on your version of the repository are okay to merge into the master branch. And when I say that, what I mean is it's basically an editing procedure. So basically you're submitting edits and whoever's the administrator of the master branch can take your pull request and then it integrates it. And that's the basics of contributing to code on GitHub as well. But so just for example, we're going to be comparing across forks. And press compare across forks, and we're going to do compare base fork to Carl V. Lewis. And so the base fork is going to be obviously the master repository. The head fork just means the one that is currently on my user account. So when I've done that, you see it says, okay, well, it can tell that there's one file changed, that there's one contributor, and there's one commit. And it shows you exactly what's been changed in the two. This is the original version. This is the new version. So it shows whoever's doing, when you're doing this, it shows you what you're about to change. So you create pull request, and then you can type a summary of what your pull request is. So I'm just going to say, this is simply an example PR. I'm going to write that out, pull request for a screencast on using GitHub to edit text files or code. Now, I'm going to press create pull request, pretty basic. And once I've done that, it's going to check for the ability to merge. Now, you won't probably necessarily see this option. I'm only seeing this option because I'm an administrator for Open Savannah. So unless you have the administrator privileges, which I'm happy to give you, but I think it's still important to know this for any other projects. Once you've done that, you won't see this, but then I will get a notification in my email inbox saying, hey, there's been a pull request. Somebody wants to make a contribution to your repository. And whenever I get that, I can look at it, check it out. Oh, okay, I see. Looks like that's a good thing to add. So I'm going to press merge pull request and confirm merge. Now this is me on the admin side. This is not something you would do. And I'm just going to put what was simply doing as demo for screencasts. Comment. So I've commented back to you in theory. So now this branch shows up as merged. And what it means is you've merged your local changes with the changes on the master repository. So now if I go back to TaskBasket, Open Savannah, you see that demo line there? That piece of text we just had? It's there now. So now we've made a change to the source repository. And this is basically how you go about changing any open source project on GitHub. There's millions, well, I don't know about millions, but there's probably millions of applications, libraries, all kinds of cool things on GitHub that are open for you to contribute to. So we hope possibly that we'll get a lot of people contributing to our projects, both the code of it and, just as important, the documentation and the instructions. So that was the basics of editing a GitHub repository. Talk to you later.